When you get in your car tomorrow after work, do not think about her. Do not look at her Instagram. Do not send her a message. Just go home. So occasionally, when I'm bored and on the toilet, I will go on Reddit and browse r/build-a-PC or r/PC Master Race. Sometimes I like to check out what other people do when they build their PCs and some of the decisions they make and how they look and pretty cool ideas. And it used to be pretty cool. You got to see a lot of creativity and imagination. But lately, I've been very bored by what I've been seeing on the internet and with all these PCs that I've been looking at. And I think it's because PC building has gotten boringly uniform in the last couple years. Probably around, I don't know, like probably 2017 was the beginning of it. But it seems like every gaming PC that you see nowadays is just the same black or white box with the same black motherboard and black GPU and black cooler in it with maybe some RGB fans in there to give it some color. There's no color scheme anymore. There's no, personality. There's no one trying to add some flair to it. It's all very generic. And so it got me to thinking, what was PC building like back in the day? Before I built computers. What was it like back then? What did I miss out on? Well, I got the answer for you. I got the answer because I took a trip to my local electronics recycler, and in the corner, I found something amazing. And he gave it to me for $10. The only catch was I had to drag it out of there, and that was a workout. But I found this piece of history that's so cool. I cannot wait to show you. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, hold on. Whew. Okay, all right, okay. Whew. Oh God, give me a second. I'm about to pass out. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Cooler Master Cosmos 1000 PC case. This thing is awesome looking. I got this at the scrapyard for $10, which is incredible. I guess I should give you a little bit of history about this case. So I actually don't have a definitive date for when this case was released. I read a article on Tech Power Up that was dated for late 2007, so maybe September to November of 2007 is my best guess at when this thing was released. Now, as for the history, this was kind of Cooler Master's biggest PC case at the time. This was designed for like their high performance. This was the top tier elite, gaming PC case. This was a follow-up to another well-known case, the Cooler Master. It was the Stacker 832, I believe. The Stacker. And that one was black. It didn't have this kind of cool brushed aluminum, but that was a very successful, very well-known, very highly regarded case. This one isn't as well-known, but the Stacker was very well-known. It was right up there with, the Silverstone and Antec when they were, making their big cases back in the day. And this was kind of the follow-up to that, which is really cool. This case, when it was released, MSRP'd for $200. That's expensive for a case even today. But I got my Corsair 4000D for I think $90 on sale. $200 for a case, that's a lot of money. But the Stacker, I think, was a little bit more expensive. But $200, that was in 2007. Today, that's a little over $300 for adjusting for inflation. So this was pricey. This was a pricey option. But it was kind of Cooler Master's, very high-end gaming PC case. And I looked at it and I absolutely fell in love with it. And so I want to kind of do a little review of it and kind of show you guys what this thing's all about, because I think it's super cool. I'm gonna have to reposition the camera. All right, so looking at this thing, this is kind of the profile. So you can see it stands on these little metal feet on the sides here. That's kind of how this thing works. I love how it's got these handles that makes it like very easy to carry. Could you imagine bringing this thing to a freaking LAN party? That would be absolutely crazy. But you have your Cosmos badge on the front here, Cooler Master badge down there. So in terms of front I/O, this thing actually has a lot for back then, but we have 4 USB 2.0 ports conveniently labeled, power reset, front audio. That's all pretty standard stuff. The stuff that's not as standard, we have eSATA for your external hard drive. A lot of people don't realize that back then USB 2.0 was limited. I forget how fast it was, but it was like several hundred megabytes. It was not that fast. So you actually had to have eSATA, which actually capped out at, I believe, 600 megabytes a second. And that was fast enough for your external hard drives. And then FireWire, which I think was FireWire invented by Apple? I forget. I know that Apple's the one that used it a lot. But that was for a lot of data transfer as well. So that's pretty cool. And then on the top here, we have this pretty cool like vented lid. This is just solid. This is not a grill. So it does not have the best airflow compared to like other, I mean, you got this grill in the back here, I suppose, but it doesn't have the best airflow compared to modern cases. But look at this is so cool. Like a lot of cases from back in the day. It's got a magnetic door. I love it. I love that so much. So you can see we actually have, well, one's missing, but a total of 5 5.25 inch bays, which is a lot for, you know, not just your DVD drive, your optical drive, but also your, any kind of adapters for front interfaces that you want. So like you could unironically go get like one of those 5.25 inch adapters that has like USB-C and USB 3.0, and you could put that in here and it'd have like those modern features, which is cool. And then of course, once you're done with it, just close it up. I love that. That's awesome. So let's go ahead and we'll take a look at it. Okay. Oh, I should mention, Jesus Christ. It weighs empty, 17 kilograms. I don't know how many pounds that is. I'll have to calculate that and put it on screen. But it's 17 kilograms just for this case. This is all aluminum. You know, it's all solid aluminum. These rods are aluminum. I don't know how they're fastened up here, but it's solid stuff. So, taking a look. Oh boy. Taking a look at the back. Got your motherboard cutouts. Everything is pretty simple, or you know, it's pretty analogous to what we have in modern computers here. These 2 levers are actually how you lift up, because these don't screw in. These are how you get the side panels off, which is awesome. You have one 120 millimeter fan, and then these rubber grommets here. A lot of people don't know what those are for. These rubber grommets are, in fact, back in the day, when you wanted to water cool a computer, it was actually common to have your radiator and I think your pump, both of them would be external. So your points of failure were kept largely outside of the actual system. So all you had to have inside the computer was running your tubes, which is pretty cool. So yeah, it's clear. Check this out. You see how you got 2 PCI brackets missing and 2 missing there? Somebody had an SLI set up in here at one point, I guess. That's pretty cool. So okay. So like I said, these little levers on the back here, and then this just pops off like that. Nice and simple. And whew, it is dirty. But that's the inside of it. So you can, yeah, there you go. So pops off. It's pretty cool. Check this out. This is really neat. So you have, how many of these? It's like 6. These you pull out, and then these you can put like a 3.5 inch hard drive in here. So you could turn this thing, you could unironically use this as like a server case if you want. And then you just run all your cables through the back. That's pretty That's pretty awesome. Oh, there's the 120mm fan that goes in the back. It's got all your standard cables and things. This is pretty cool. So this is actually kind of interesting. So if you look, because I commented on the airflow not being optimal in this, right? Well, look at this. So on the bottom here, this is where your power supply goes, and that has a grill so that it can get air out from underneath it. And then here we have a fan, and under this fan, I don't know if you can see, but it also has a grill. So this fan is pulling fresh air into the case from the bottom, and that explains why it has these standoffs, these feet that it can stand off of. So that's actually a really well thought out, well engineered idea. I like that quite a bit, actually. So that's pretty cool. And then of course you can put, there's like nothing, it's standard ATX, and hell, it might even have the holes for eATX, but there's nothing stopping you from putting just modern hardware in this thing. I mean, it really depends on, you know, I don't know about a 4090 necessarily, but it really just depends on how well you can cool it. But as long as you can cool it, you could take this case from 17 years ago and put modern hardware in it. We also have another one of these fans. I like those little shrouds, those black shrouds on these orange fans. That looks pretty cool. But that also looks like, so that looks like it's taking in air from somewhere, and it looks like it's blowing down onto these hard drive caddies so you can cool your hard drives. That makes sense. So that's cool. Yeah, I guess we can look at the back side too. Oh boy. But all of your like cables and everything for your front panel is all the same. I mean, the standards haven't really changed that much over the years, but it's just cool because, you know, I think back to 2007. How old was I in 2007? I was 8. I was in 3rd grade, so, you know, I wasn't even thinking about computers back then. So to see kind of what I missed out on, I think it's pretty cool. All right, so I love those levers. So, okay. So it does not have a cutout for a cooler, so you have to mount your cooler before you put the motherboard in. Interesting. And then here, you can see that's where it's about to fall over. This is where your hard drives go. And you can just run all your, you know, SATA cables to your hard drives and then go through to your motherboard. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh, hey, check it out. It's a, come on. It's a thumb screw that was missing from the front. I'll put that back in. Sweet, awesome. So yeah. Okay, another quick look at the bottom here. These filters are caked with dust. Are they removable? Oh, yes. Yes, they are. Those need to be cleaned. That is gross. They're not magnetic. They seem to be clip-on, I think. They have these little guide rails that they follow, and then it seems like they just kind of clip into place here. Yeah, so that's how that works. Okay, cool. And then you can kind of see with that foot, and then on the other side, the way that these carrying handle rail things are oriented, it's kind of neat. You could lay this thing on its side and it'd be just fine. So this thing is actually, it's kind of cool how it's designed. It'll work in both orientations. You could have it upright where it's on these two, or you can have both. You can have both sets and lay it on its side. That's a pretty cool idea, I gotta say. Now, you might be asking, why did you buy this 17-year-old computer case that's way too heavy and irresponsibly big? Well, obviously, for 10 bucks, I couldn't pass it up. I mean, it's probably worth more in the aluminum than that. But I know you guys. and I know you well. So, you know what we're going to do with this thing, right? We're putting a Ryzen system in this thing with modern hardware, modern graphics card, and it's going to be awesome. We're going to do that. Not soon, because I don't have money to afford parts, but eventually we will do that. But I just thought it was kind of cool because we don't see things like this anymore. I think that the whole black box with glass on it, this doesn't even have a glass window on it, but the whole black and white box with a glass side panel and RGB fans and the same black components, it's kind of taken a lot of the personality out of building a computer, in my opinion. So to go back to a time where these things were designed to look cool, this thing looks like a fucking spaceship. A spaceship, or like a DeLorean, like the car from the Back to the Future movie. Yeah, like that. It's so cool. I love it. It kind of reminds me of that Dell 630i we looked at a couple years ago. Kind of like that. I love the brushed aluminum look. It looks so good. And look at the cute magnetic door. It's great. So I just thought it's cool. It's a cool piece of history, and you know, it's a cool way to have your build kind of stand out. Obviously, I think the biggest factor is going to be cooling, but with some nice Noctua fans, I think we can make it work. But yeah, I think it's kind of a cool look into the past, and that's never a bad thing. Let me know what you guys think. You know, what do you think of this thing? I think that this thing is awesome. Let me know what you guys think down below. Leave your thoughts. Sorry I haven't been, you know, on top of the videos. Time and motivation. Those are things. So yeah. But hopefully it'll get better. Merry Christmas if I don't see you before Christmas time. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time.